Warning. The language used on The Real Rush may be offensive to some viewers. Don't say I didn't fucking warn you.
Don't come right in like you pay the rent, motherfucker! What y'all sitting over there looking pretty for? Bang your head to the opening riff!
Shut up and sit down.
Cause that's how we get down, cause that's how we get it. Kid and Play coming with a fresh new ticket. The pajama jammy jam up in this motherfucker, yo. I say this because I say this as I say, welcome back to The Real Rush. What's happening, y'all? And this is episode 92 of The Real Rush right here on YouTube. Episode 92 almost rhymes with House Party 2. The Pajama Jammy Jam. That was my shit. That was the jam. I got the DVD. I found it, I believe, up at, yes, I did find that up at McKay's Books. Can't wait for that place to reopen back up, because Lord knows what they've got sitting on their shelves that they're going to be wanting to sell. And that somebody such as myself will be wanting to buy. I have to show y'all the Blu-ray collection and shit that has amassed over the last couple of years. At some point, I have them all in storage bins, man. Storage bins. But I know where each one is, man. Because that's how I roll and that's how I do. And that's how I do because I am your man. The movie buff Iron Man. Burn down, 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 down. This means war! John Dove coming back at you with The Real Rush here on YouTube. Number 92. 92, boogaloo. What you gonna do when the boogaloo comes? Drink some Pepsi, have some fun. What you gonna do when the boogaloo comes? Take your white ass in the sun. What you gonna do when the boogaloo comes? Have yourself a honey bun. That does sound fucking good. What you gonna do when the boogaloo comes? Sit your ass on down and watch The Real Rush. The brown down. Down, 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 down. Pat penning on that shit, bitches. Because that is a song in progress that I just created right there. Have fun. Love, John Dove. And we'll see you next weekend. Peace out. Of course not. That's not happening right now. Because we haven't even gotten to anything movie related, let alone the 4 new reviews that I have reviews for y'all this episode. And yo, we gotta get to the big news here. I guess you could call it breaking news if you haven't heard it yet over the last couple days, but actually no, this came out like the day that we were editing episode 91 last week. So sorry us for being early with other fucking breaking news last week. I don't know. Anywho, state of VA, Virginia. Ride in VA, I'ma die in VA. Said motherfucking clips and shit. VA. Home. To Mr. Dub and the Real Rush. We're moving into phase 3. Starting on Wednesday, July 1st. Which leads us to movie theater reopening details. Yeah. I mean, I'm like excited about it and shit. But at the same time, of course, I got my trepidations going about it, you know that. But I mean, with the thing that we spoke on last week, what Regal Cinemas is instituting in all of their theaters are what are called ULV fogger machines that not only utilize the UV lights that you can apparently use wands of to sanitize like your groceries and all time what have you starting some shit, but it sprays out sanitizing mist that is fast drying through the foggers to mist the auditorium and spray on the seats and whatnot. So it's pretty innovative. So that does give me some courage. So trying to stay on the up. Let's help each other stay on the up as we're about to get back into the rift here. So speaking of Regal Theaters, and if I may have mentioned that they do reopen on July 10th, we got some news for y'all. MovieWeb.com reports that when Regal starts reopening theaters on July 10th, well, I guess I should lead into this stating that any movies that we've been talking about, release date wise, over the last couple weeks, like repeatedly, they've been pushed back some more. And we're going to actually get to that in a second. So because of that, since they do want to at least start reopening theaters, and in an attempt to, you know, be able to get people back into the theaters, for example, what Cinemark is doing, they're showing what they're calling comeback classics. Regal is doing something pretty similar, which we actually have a full lineup here for. So they're going to be showing like classic movies and shit, or older movies. But I think everyone here, almost everyone here could be considered a classic. But starting June 10th, yet I lag on too much about, as they say were revealed in a series of Twitter posts, Regal Cinemas will be showing, and I quote, Black Panther, Bloodshot, Rocky, Unforgiven, The Empire Strikes Back, Batman Begins, The Dark Knight Rises, Inside Out, and Jurassic Park. That's a pretty fucking hellacious lineup there. The one that I almost said the classic about was Bloodshot. I would definitely not consider that a classic, not even a new classic. Maybe it'll grow on me over time, but I wouldn't put that up. That is a weird one to fucking just throw back in there, man. But I guess that since it's like one of the most recent movies to actually be playing mass in theater, along with, I believe, The Hunt and The Hunt and I Still Believe. That was that weekend. That was the last weekend that shit was open. Oh. This part I missed earlier. They also revealed to be showing the Back to the Future trilogy, Dunkirk, Wonder Woman, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and Beverly Hills Cop. Each title will only be $5 to view, $3 per children. And that is the same promo that I believe that Cinemark is running. But next week, the week after that, July 17th, they'll have a whole new... They use the term second wave here. I'm surprised nobody commented like, how dare you use the term second wave? That's being thrown around too negatively, blah, 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 blah. But fuck it. The second chapter of Regal shit. Inception, the 10th anniversary of Sonic the Hedgehog, Bohemian Rhapsody, The Lord of the Rings trilogy, Iron Man, Jaws, Interstellar. Ooh, 2 Nolan movies at the same time. And a live action Beauty and the Beast remake. There are a couple in there that your boy hasn't seen yet. Which ones? Stay fucking tuned. At JDub Champion, hashtag The Real Rush on Instagram, for my live movie check-in and updates as they occur, because any of those movies that your man has not seen yet will be getting seen at a real theater, maybe even on a Thursday night even, and we can start continuing that shit. I was about to go off on a different tangent right there, but since we've already taken up quite a minute on that, we're going to keep this shit moving on. And we're going to get to that other one. We're going to write that shit down as a matter of fact. 'Cause I'll know exactly what the fuck this means. Yes. No. No question mark. Exclamation point. Moving right along. No word yet on AMC's choice of movie bookings. They're slated to start reopening on July 5th. And we have absolutely no word yet on the reopenings at all of the Angelica, Cinema Arts Fairfax, or the Airbus IMAX Theater up at the Udvar-Hazy Air and Space Museum in Chantilly, Virginia. So we're keeping a close eye on those, of course. And, as I mentioned a couple moments ago, the release dates being pushed back. These are all due to virus numbers, cases, I suppose, surging again. Wear your fucking masks, y'all. And I hope I'm not asking where are they. I'm saying wear your fucking masks, man. Woman. Do whatever you gotta do to let's protect each other. It is possible, I believe. I don't want to get sick. You don't want to get sick. Let's try to keep each other from getting fucking sick. And let's get back to the motherfucking movie theaters. Keeping ourselves well and shit. Anywho, so the movie that was supposed to come out on July 10th was Unhinged. That crazy shit with Russell Crowe. That's been pushed back to July 31st. That's due to Wikipedia. Due to Wikipedia. That's from Wikipedia. And according to WRAL.com, that's WRAL.com, we have 3 new release date pushbacks. Mulan, originally set for July 24th, has been pushed back to August 21st. No longer coming out first for any type of summer. Like, it's going to be late summer by the time most of this shit comes out. So that's been pushed back. Tenet got pushed back once again from July 31st to August 12th. That's now the big opening feature of the summer once again. And Bill and Ted Face the Music got pushed back from August 14th to August 28th. More to follow, I'm sure. I did notice that Cinemark already has 5 locations in Texas reopen. And they're showing some older movies and some of the movies that were playing when the shit got shut down and whatnot too. So that's fucking cool. Select theaters in 19 states, Cinemarks, are slated to open on July 3rd, and many more follow. So we will keep our eyes and ears on the pulse of this shit for you. If we're gonna get on down to the brass tacks of 4 new movies I got reviewed, movies that your boy has reviewed for you right here for episode 92 of The Real Rush right here. So let's go ahead and get on down to that ticket. So we gonna kick off the ticket for episode 92 with the new satirical political comedy written and directed by the man Jon Stewart. This joint is called Irresistible. Irresistible follows a Democratic political strategist named Gary. Gary! Played by Steve Carell. As he helps a retired Marine played by Chris Cooper, in his candidacy for mayor in a long-standing Republican small town in Wisconsin, in an effort to not only turn this town from red to blue, but turn the entire heartland state of Wisconsin from red to blue. This joint also stars Rose Byrne, Mackenzie Davis, Topher Grace, Natasha Lyonne, and Will Sasso. And this joint right here is one. Just one. Just one. One. With the finger. One of this week's Rush main events. This is a co-main event up in this bitch. It's a co-main event. It's a co-main event show today. And for those who are new to that term, I just started using that term just a couple weeks ago. The main event is basically the Real Rush motherfucking pick of the week. So, that being said, you could say that this is the co-pick of the week, but in Rush terms, it's the co-main event. Yes! It's easily another of this year's most important films for, I think, are safe to say, quite obvious reasons, even though some may choose to ignore them. We're actually going to get to that as part of this fucking review here, but who better to pen and direct some shit like this than someone who really has their fingers on the everyman's political pulse of America, and who isn't more outspoken in Jon Stewart. Chris Cooper. I'm Ho. I'm H.O. In my honest opinion, the man puts on a Best Supporting Actor nomination-worthy performance. So seeing as in that movies that were originally planned for theatrical release, even though they're getting streaming only right now due to the obvious, according to last week's Oscar news, they'll still be eligible for shit like that. So that'll be interesting come a couple months from now. Longer than normal, but again, check last week's episode for news on that shit. I loved how this film poignantly, yet humorously, not only tackled political motives and the motives behind the motives, but how it speaks the exact truth about what most people seem to don't just know about, but again, blindly ignore. We're gonna leave it at that because I don't want to get like I said, we try not to get too political here on the Real Rush, man. We about the movies, yo. We all about the movies, and which applies to that, since that's outside. Depending on what term you think of, or what your take on outside is. But what I just spoke of right there, but what most people don't seem to don't just know, but blindly ignore, that applies to, that can totally apply to life outside the political realm as well. Thinking outside the box, pulling movies outside the political box, or pulling what you can apply from the movie in all areas of life. Yeah, I go with the double road coming out again. After you see Irresistible, you shall understand. Overall, well done and very well played. It's a $20 video on demand rental. We rented it on the insanely expensive Rushtron 3000. That's right. Through Prime Video. Worth every penny. Stay through the entire ending credits. And again, I can't stress enough, don't just watch Irresistible. Open your eyes and your ears to the message that the film is laying down. Irresistible. Real Rush golf clap. For the week. Oh, that'd be awesome if when I went to go do the fucking golf clap, and especially when I hit the oh, if like light could come out of my palms. Oh, that might freak me out. Like, holy shit! There's fucking light coming from my palms. That would be some crazy shit. Guess it wouldn't be scary after the first time, though. Yet I digress. Moving right along to what's next on this episode's Real Rush Ticket is, as I stated last week, this has been long awaited for me because we saw the trailer 13 times for this shit, starting on April 5th of last year, 2K19, when we saw the Best of Enemies up at the Angelica. I think that was at the. I would think that was. There's been so many movies. I keep track of them on Ziggy here. How many movies, what movies, and where we saw them at? Yet I digress. But we've been waiting for this one a long time, and the fucking release date just kept getting pushed back and tossed about. We'll get to that here in a second, but this is the new. I guess we could still call it new. Even though we've been getting our balls tickled about it for the last year and a half almost. So we'll say, I think it's still new. Most would say newly released, but we're gonna still say it's new because ain't nobody really seen it. Ain't nobody in the US seen it before this fucking weekend. So this is the new action comedy from director Peter Siegel, famous for Tommy Boy and Nutty Professor Two the Clumps and Longest Yard. Shit like that. Get Smart brings to us a joint called My Spy, starring our boy Batista. Fucking show the signature. Yeah, I still got that on the SummerSlam poster back there and shit. Digress. Actually, that's not a digression because Batista's in this motherfucker. This movie, My Spy, follows CIA operative JJ, played by one Dave Batista. Known to most audiences, obviously, as Drax from the Guardians and Marvel Avengers series, who unwillingly agrees to teach a 9-year-old girl, played by Chloe Coleman, the ropes of being a spy in exchange for her not blowing his cover. I know, right on the surface right there, that sounds cliche as hell, but we're going to get to that in a second. This also stars Christian Shaw and Kenji Young. And one would think that a film that it's had its, and this is one of the things I said I was going to get to a couple seconds ago, so we're staying on track here somewhat. We're not going off the rails too much this episode. I'm trying to keep it on the fucking choo-choo, that kind of train of thought through this episode. That was a digression for sure. One would think that a film that's had its release date pushed around and pushed back so many times that this movie would just be considered a toss-away, or even in worse terms, a throwaway because of that. And ended up landing on, well, a lot of things landed on a streaming service, but that's like a movie getting almost, think of it in this terms, like a movie getting tossed around from release date to release date and then ultimately just coming out on just fucking DVD. Like, what kind of shit is that? But that's okay. That's okay. That's what I'm trying to have a metaphor for. Anywho, one would think that a movie like that, well, damn, it didn't even make it to theaters, it must not be that good. They didn't even want to see the fucking opening in theaters. Well, if one would think that, then that one would be totally wrong about My Spy. This is this week's other co-main event. Co-main event. Co-main event. Co-main event. chicken lo mein in the co-main event. Dun dun. Dun, 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 dun. Co-main event. My spy, Batista King Lou with the chicken lo mein and the cocaine and the co-main event. I'm not sure if that little woo there is as so, but my spy otherwise is outrageously hilarious. There were quite a few laugh out loud moments, at least that I had here, watching it on the insanely expensive Geritron, Rushtron. I'm gonna have to bleep that out so we don't fucking, like, get sued. Because Vince will come after a motherfucker in a heartbeat. Yeah, not trying to get sued by, like, Titan Sports or anything. So the Rushtron 4000, yeah. This movie's awesome, yo. As I was saying a couple moments ago, the plot, it sounds cliche as hell. But the cool part about that is that the film is totally meta to that very notion. And it works quite well for the film formula, in the film formula's favor. Batista, proven that this man can hold it down as a top-billed star. Christian Shaw provides the pitch-perfect comic relief. And young Miss Chloe Coleman, keep her on your radar. Even though she's like 33 now, since they filmed this film so long ago, back in fucking 2003. Batista had barely just made it on the WWE scene yet. He was still carrying the collection plate or the collection box around his neck and shit. All that shit was going down. The Deacon! Yet I digress. Actually, that's not a digression either, because Batista's in the motherfucker. So overall, my spy, and this might be a bold statement to some, but here it is on a platter. Sit down, eat it, like it, enjoy it, shut the fuck up, because enjoy it. This is the funniest film of its kind since Kindergarten Cop. I thoroughly enjoyed the hell out of My Spy, y'all. Def peep it. It's on Prime Video. Is Prime Video just only for people who subscribe to Prime? Or if you're not a Prime subscriber, can you still use the app, but you just gotta pay for everything? I have to Google that shit. Or if somebody wants to, help them out, that's cool. But this is obviously free to Prime subscribers. Even though, had this still made it to the theaters, I would have gladly paid to see this shit on screen. Another Real Rush golf clap. Maybe I'll find something there in post. Excuse me, that I could fucking throw in there. Give me some more of that Pepsi. This is not product placement. I do not benefit monetarily from having this delicious beverage in my show. But it does deliver quite the positive boost to get us to the second half of our ticket here on Rush 92 here on YouTube. And with that, behold, we have Eurovision Song Contest, the story of Fire Saga, directed by David Dobkin, who also directed Wedding Crashers. And this actually reunites two stars from Wedding Crashers, as this tells the tale of lifelong Icelandic friends and musicians, Lars and Sigrid, played by Will Ferrell and Rachel McAdams, and their ambition to make it into and win the infamous annual, aforementioned, Eurovision contest. This also stars Dan Stevens, Pierce Brosnan, James Bond, and Demi Lovato. Yeah, she just pops up in there, literally, and that's a little bit of a spoiler, but when you see it, it's still gonna be funny. Maybe. This is easily one of the most absurd and offbeat comedies, honestly, that I've ever seen. Which sometimes works in its favor, but sometimes it doesn't. We're kind of going to get to that here in a second. So, you got Will Ferrell, obviously, up in this. He's true to his, standard Will Ferrell form that he's most known for in this. Some might call that act tired, but if the man can still pull it off, he can still pull it off. What can I say? He's fucking Will Ferrell. So this is your standard Will Ferrell comedy with some odd moments of melodrama. But Mick Adams definitely holds down the most as the film's shining star. In your man's opinion here, I'm MO, as a matter of fact. In your man's opinion. So I am YMO. We'll work on that. There are a few laugh out loud moments, but quite a number of what the fuck moments in this joint. Like, for example, and this isn't giving anything away by any means, but again, you'll know it when you see it. There is a musical number just over the fucking top, just thrown in there at one point. And I don't know if I was enjoying it or having another seizure. It was odd. It was odd. To relate it to some of our psychedelic, background here. It's like some shit that was, it could be kind of fun, but you could do without it right now. That's the way it felt to me. Overall, this joint runs at just about 2 hours. It's definitely longer than it needs to be. Some scenes are just flat out drawn out, in my opinion. So it could have worked at about an hour and a half. For being somewhat of a Saturday Night Live-ish movie, it definitely could have benefited from about half an hour's worth of crazy shit, or shit that was just drawn out over there. But overall, I think it's worth peeping, especially for all the hardcore Will Ferrell fans out there. They'll still get a kick out of this, the most. And this joint is only available on Netflix, which everybody has. So everybody get down to the funky sound. And when you get down, 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 coming on down, down, dum, dum, boom, doom. What you gonna do when the boogaloo comes? Dum, dum. Walk your ass to Chinatown. What you gonna do when the boogaloo comes? You got robbed by a street clown. What you gonna do when the boogaloo comes? Drown your sorrows in a beer. Oh no. What you gonna do when the boogaloo comes? John Duff, baby, have no fear. I'm here. What you gonna do when the boogaloo comes? Let's get on down to the last movie that we got here on this episode. Real Rush Ticket here for y'all. This one's been kind of long awaited too, and that's actually on my part, because this actually dropped on video on demand services. So for us, once again, that would be Prime Video here through the insanely expensive Rushtron 75 fucking 100. Military Wives. And I say long awaited because this is a movie that was one of the last trailers that we did see in theaters. We saw it at the Angelica just before we saw Hope Gap on March 6th, which was about a week and a half-ish or so before theaters went into cryostasis. And I dug, that's right, I dug that shit. I dug the trailer then. Did it live up to its expectations? let's get on down to the brass tacks about this. So what Military Wives? It's based on the true story of the British Military Wives Choir Network. This stars Kristen Scott Thomas and and Sharon Horgan as the cultural. Well, I guess cultural to us. You know, I'm not British, so let's get some culture. But also as the central. As the central characters, whom, while at odds with each other, unite to form a choir with other wives living on the military base to help keep them occupied and keep their minds off things while their husbands are away serving in Afghanistan. And I found this to be quite the heartwarmingly humorous yet touching look into how the partners of military service people cope with things like that, like their partners being away and whatnot. I'm not one to be shy about this, and longtime Russiaholics know this. I'm not one to shy away from saying whether or not a movie made me cry, because I've said that so many times that I developed a fucking term for it, and it's called shirt soaker. And I do believe that this one was a shirt soaker for your boy. Level of soakedness, not too terribly much, but it did get the waterworks turning at some point. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. I'm just kind of sorry that it took me a minute to see it, but we got it ends. And if anybody hasn't seen this, it's only $5 on Prime Video. Once again, I saw the trailer for Hope Gap. The trailer intrigued me then, and it totally lived up to its expectations, y'all. Overall, military-wise, it's def worth peeping, especially for the music lovers all over, and to the partners of military service people who may be coping with something like that on a regular basis, or just our people on the front lines right now on the fucking coronavirus front and shit like that, man. What they might have to be going through. So it's another see, there we go again. It's a timely movie. Military Wives, check it out. And may that one serve as the combo starter for this week. Let me know what you thought about that. Check it out. That, my friends, is a wrap. Episode 92 of The Real Rush. Right here on YouTube. We're gonna go ahead and edit this shit. Get it together. Leave it alone. Doom, doom, doom. You don't want my love. How we go? How we go? Get it together. Leave it alone. I got my own fucking Jackson for this. Is like, I would call this like a Marlon level afro. Because it's definitely not near any of them other motherfuckers yet. It's not like to the level where I can perm and slick the motherfucker back like Jermaine had for a minute. And it's not where I can Jerry curl the motherfucker to where it comes down here and hide it under a hat like Tito did on the fucking cartoon show. And Jackie's was just fucked up. And Michael, obviously, since he was the star, little Michael, he's always like nice and neat, and then you just got Marlon. The fuck is that? So we repping Marlon Jackson with our fucking fro. Damn Skippy. And as we keep rocking our Marlon Jackson fro, what's coming up on episode 93 of The Real Rush right here on YouTube next weekend? It looks like we have 3 movies coming up. First up, we'll have reviewed for you Hamilton. That's going to be dropping on Disney Plus, as opposed to Disney Minus. But the cool thing about Hamilton is this joint was not supposed to drop until August 15th of 2021. So we're getting a mad early drop on this. We're getting the fucking complete 180, like throttle that shit in reverse, Scotty. from all the fucking delayed movies and shit. This one pulled a complete 180, so well done on what's your name, dog? Lin-Manuel Miranda. Excuse me. Mad props to y'all for pulling that shit around. Maybe if you could do that for In the Heights as well, that would be dope. As a matter of fact, try not to do that with too many movies, because I do want to see one of these motherfuckers in the theater, alright? And In the Heights does look like it's gonna look dope as shit on the movie screen. Yet I digress. Hamilton, Disney Plus, not Disney Minus. We'll have that shit reviewed for you next weekend. Also, we'll have a review for you coming on Netflix, Desperados. I have no idea what the fuck that is gonna be about, so we'll have that reviewed for you anyway. And another joint called The Relic, or excuse me, just Relic, not The Relic, with Penelope Ann Miller from 1997. That was a dope motherfucker right there, y'all. Relic. This is being released via IFC Midnight. That's promising. So my question is, will that be a straight up video on demand release? Once again for us, a Prime Video release. So we'll find it some way, somehow, and we'll have that reviewed for you. But in the meantime, as always, don't forget to drop through, follow the Bandits online via our website and on Facebook, StagecoachTC.com. Once again, that's Stagecoach, T as in Tom, C as in Coach.com, or on Facebook, Stagecoach Theater Company. And if in case we're not the only one in the world, I still haven't done any research on that one yet. Just look for the one based in Ashbourne, Virginia. And for all my Rushaholics out there, as always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, any shit like that, feel free to type those on into the comment section of the YouTube page where you are viewing this week's episode right here, right now. To everybody who has subscribed to The Real Rush thus far here on YouTube, thank you for having done so. If you haven't done so yet, what the fuck are you waiting for? You want to be the first to know when your man drops a new episode. Don't forget to still spread love these days everywhere you go. Spread love instead of any spread more positivity and love instead of virus and viral shit. Like spread some joy. At the same time, spread the word of The Real Rush and let them know about your mans and his awesome motherfucking movie review show, man. And along with that, you let them know, and you keep in mind that The Real Rush does have replay value. So any movie at we're nearing 400 that we've reviewed just on YouTube alone in just under 2 years. Holy shit. Any movie that you want to get a good honest to God review on and know what your man John Dub thought of, all you gotta do is go to the top of the YouTube page here and type in the YouTube search bar in quotation marks The Real Rush, followed by outside of quotation marks the name of the movie that you're looking for, and then boom, instant movie review on demand for you, because The Real Rush and your man John Dub got y'all covered for life, son. And as always, follow your man John Dub on Instagram for my live movie check-ins and updates as they occur. And you can follow your man's at J-Dub Champion, hashtag The Real Rush. And as I go into my Gary Busey stance here, this thing is totally cool. Thank you once again for tuning into The Real Rush. I'm Gary Busey. You have to see my son. I forget his name, but he's in a lot of movies too. As have I. That's a fucked up situation, man. Gary Busey is not a fucking fun demon to exercise from your body. That motherfucker's a tough son of a bitch. Right there. I need to eat. So, thank you once again for tuning in to episode 92 of The Real Rush right here on YouTube. Once again, I'm your man's John Dubs. As we go forth, behold. Enjoy yourselves. Remember to stay safe and healthy. Take care of one another. Hope this episode has found everybody staying safe and staying healthy. And if it ain't, hopefully this is finding you on the roads to whatever ails you. Hopefully it is teaching you how to speak in a proper manner as your man John Dove cannot seem to do sometimes. But at the same time, relax. Don't let the news and shit scare you too much. Chill the hell out. Have fun, y'all. Loves John Dove. And we'll see you next weekend. Peace. I try to say goodbye and I don't try to walk away and I stumble. They try to hide it, it's clear. You walk away, you are not here. Goodbye and I don't try to walk away and I stumble. So you try to hide it, it's clear. You walk away, you are not here.